Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the J. Mack Robinson College of Business at Georgia State University. We are thrilled today that you have joined us for our Master of Global Hospitality webinar. My name is Allison Jacobs, and I am the Associate Director of Graduate Admissions. My team and I will spend the next 30 minutes with you this morning discussing the Robinson College of Business Master of Global Hospitality program and the admissions process. Please save your questions to the end of the webinar when you will have the opportunity to type your question into the chat box and one of our team members will answer it. So just to give you a quick overview, as you can see from the agenda, we will be covering most things that you probably have a question in your mind about at this point. I would now like to introduce our team of professionals that will be on this webinar today. As I mentioned, my name is Allison, and I am in charge of recruiting for our international and outside of Georgia prospective students. My colleague Felton Todd will be here today to talk to you a little bit about the admissions process. Nicole Westfall is our communications guru, and you will be hearing from her frequently through email. We are also very happy to have some people from our hospitality program on this webinar today. Josh Grathier is our public relations coordinator for the School of Hospitality, and Kyle Height is a student that is currently in the Global Hospitality program. The Robinson College of Business at Georgia State, which celebrates its 100th anniversary this year, has a rich history and tradition. Of great importance is our contemporary curriculum that is keeping up with the needs of today's highly competitive global business environment. We are proud to offer graduate and undergraduate programs that are among the finest in the nation. Our part-time MBA program is ranked the best by Bloomberg Businessweek and US News and World Report, and the Financial Times ranks our executive MBA among the world's premier programs. Our Computer Information Systems department ranks 8th in the nation, and our Risk Management department ranks 4th. Most important to you, our School of Hospitality is ranked in the top 20 programs in the nation. The success of the J. Mack Robinson College of Business is due to several factors. First of all, our faculty members are among the best in the world. They are experts in their respective fields, consult with businesses worldwide, and often are quoted in the media. As the fifth largest business school in the United States with approximately 200 full-time faculty members, we are able to offer a wide variety of graduate and undergraduate courses. Our talented student body is one of the most diverse in the United States, hailing from more than 88 different countries. Of course, our location in the heart of Atlanta's vibrant downtown business district makes us just minutes away from many of the nation's top companies, including the Coca-Cola Company, Turner Broadcasting, Georgia Pacific, UPS, SunTrust Banks, and the Home Depot. And of course, we're right in the center of many hospitality hotels, restaurants, and of course, the Atlanta, Georgia Convention Center. Our 80,000 and growing alumni base hold positions in the best companies in the world. Your network will expand exponentially once you become a member of the Robinson College of Business family. I will now turn things over to Josh, again, our public relations coordinator in the School of Hospitality, to discuss a little bit about the hospitality program at Georgia State and also hospitality in Atlanta.
First, we want to cover the global hospitality industry, looking at the economic impact worldwide. You can see by the infographic on the screen, it's 9% of GDP. The hospitality and tourism industry employs 1 out of every 11 jobs worldwide. So you're looking at a huge industry that employs so many people in various segments of the industry, from events to airlines to cruise ships, travel, tourism, hotels, any segment of the hospitality industry. As far as the hospitality industry here in Atlanta, the industry employs more than 223,000 Atlanta residents. So you're joining good company as you move to Atlanta and relocate to join our Master of Global Hospitality Management program. In 2012, Atlanta saw 42 million visitors. That's a lot of folks, and that's more than just people flowing through the world's busiest airport. Here in Atlanta, tourism and hospitality is a $12 billion industry in spending. We have the fourth largest convention center here in the US. It's just walking distance from our downtown campus. We host the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson International Atlanta Airport, that sees more than 2,500 arrivals and departures every single day. We also boast the seventh largest hotel portfolio with every major brand and flag that has more than 93,000 hotel rooms in the metro Atlanta area. As far as relocating and living here in Atlanta, you have several options, both on campus and off. We've given you some rough estimate figures based on apartment living, dorm living, loft living here in Atlanta. I'm now going to turn things over to Kyle, who's a current student in his second semester of our one-year Master of Global Hospitality Management program.
Hello to all the listeners out there. Like Josh mentioned, my name is Kyle Heights, and I am a current student. So I'm going to go over some of the aspects from my point of view about the program itself. So from the first slide here, you can see the Master of Global Hospitality Management is for established professionals who want to expand their knowledge, hospitality professionals working in the industry but want a little more training in our discipline, and then career changers as well. So this is a direct reflection of our current cohort. We have some students who are right from undergrad with no experience, and they're just going straight into the graduate program. We have several students who've been in the industry for 5 to 10 years and are going back just to sort of move up the corporate ladder. And then career changers who just realize at this point in their life that they want to make a change. So you see all those types in our current class as well. Moving on to the next slide, this is the sort of structure of the format. So it is a very rigorous 1-year master's degree, but that's one of the best parts about it. You are done in 1 year. So it's 1-year format over 3 semesters. It's a total of 30 hours in the curriculum. And we do it in a cohort format. So the whole class starts at the same time, and then they progress as a group from class to class. So this is really good for networking as far as peer learning. You do have several group projects, and so you do get to work one-on-one very, very closely with different classmates. For the candidate profile, everyone has an undergraduate degree from an accredited college or university. The program does encourage industry experience, but like I said before, it's not required. And as well, there is several students where English is their second language in our current cohorts. We have students from China, from Brazil, from Mexico. Many of them English is their second language, but they do just fine. And for work experience, once you're in the program, if you don't have any, our professors will help you make contacts. And then we've had several students who have gotten work experience just from the program itself. For the location, Georgia State University is in a couple of areas. The main campus is downtown, but our classes are located in Robinson's Buckhead Center, which is sort of near Lenox Mall, if you're familiar with the area. And the classes meet every Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 9:45. So we'll move on to the next slide. This is an overview of the courses that you'll take. So in the fall, the first 2 courses you have as 8-week mini-masters. So you have survey and hospitality from an international perspective, and then global trends is actually in the lodging industry. So you'll do those 2 classes for 8 weeks straight, and then you'll move into the second set of classes is how the program is designed. And then in the spring, we just started research methodology, and then sustainable operations and hospitality, which is one of my big selling points because you will get a certificate in sustainability after this course because you'll do a research project as well. So that's something that you'll have on your resume, which is very nice. And then in the summer, we finish up with 2 classes and then 1 applied to industry-based research project, which is essentially a research paper and a thesis as well. And so on the next slide, we have some of the program benefits. So you do give lots of presentations, so you do learn how to speak in front of people, so that's very, very nice. So that's one of the functional skills that you'll gain while going into the workforce. Intercultural awareness, like I said, this is focused on an international perspective, so not only with the students in your class, but you'll also study sort of up-and-coming countries as well. And then practical skills for doing business in the various hospitality segments. We do have a state-of-the-art knowledge of the global industry and state-of-the-art technology at the Buckhead Center. So there's screens at each desk. There's confidence monitors. It's very, very, very nice. And then for the networking and connecting with hospitality executives, that's a direct reflection of not only the career fairs that they host for us, but also from the faculty connections. We have guest speakers from the industry come in almost on a weekly basis. Several of our students have gotten jobs directly from the guest speakers, so it's a very big benefit. And then for job networking, we have over 80,000 alumni in the Robinson Network, and the professors and current students as well. It's just a really, really tight knit program. So for that, I'm going to pass it on to Felton, and he's going to talk about the admissions process.
Thank you, Kyle. Now, if you're wondering what it takes to apply to the Management and Global Hospitality program, for our program, we take either GMAT or GRE. As far as if you're wondering what are the scores for the GMAT or GRE, we'll definitely go there in slides to come. Also, if you're an international student, we will take either TOEFL or IELTS. For the TOEFL exam, we look for an average of a 101, IELTS, an average of a 7.5. Next, you see is past academic work. That simply means we require every transcript as far as even undergrad and also graduate work if you whatever you have done in your educational history. Also, we will ask for a professional resume which will detail your work experience or work history. Within that, I'll say definitely be as detailed as possible so we can see the matriculation that you have done over time. So we can see the different jobs and duties that you have, and so we can really see where you would like to go within the program itself, and also how we can kind of match you with different industries or different people or that you can meet in the future to come. Also, with our 1 year program, one letter of recommendation is required, but you can submit up to three. For the letter of recommendation, you can ask a manager at your job, or if you are someone that's coming straight out of undergraduate, you can ask a professor that can speak as far as your work ethic, things of that nature. Now, if you're wondering if one thing overweighs the other or one thing has more weight, everything is counted equally in the admission decision. Now, once we have everything in your profile, it takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks to get a decision back to you, and we will respond through the application or the email address that you applied on the online applications with us. Now, the candidate profile. Currently in our program of the Management of Global Hospitality, the average is a 612 for GMAT. I would say the range is 570 or higher. GRE, the average score is a 306. So that roughly means a quantitative score of a 155, a verbal of 155. So I'll say keep that in mind if you're trying to figure out what test is best for you. If you're wondering what's the difference between the GMAT and GRE, the GMAT is more heavily quantitative test, and the GRE is an equally based test between quantitative and also verbal. The cost for the test, GMAT wise, the current price of the GMAT is $250, and the GRE is $185. The average GPA currently for the program right now is a 3.43, and the average work experience for the Global Hospitality Management program is 4 years. Now, if you're an international student or applicant, there are some additional components to take into account. There's an English proficiency that we do require. As I spoke of earlier, we'll take either the TOEFL or IELTS test as far as to apply here within Robinson. Again, the averages for the TOEFL is 101, and IELTS is a 7.5. Now, there are some exceptions to this. If you're a U.S. naturalized citizen or have received an accredited degree from a U.S. institution, you are eligible to waiver out of the TOEFL or IELTS exam. Now, for additional components as far as academic credentials, if you have taken some classes abroad, we will need those transcripts. And here within Robinson, we accept three different evaluators: Joseph Silney, ECE, and also West. Now, once you submit your official transcripts from your institutions, you will be contacted by our office to actually know if you have to have these evaluators or evaluations done. Also, for financial resources as an international student, you will submit this information to our International Student Scholarship Services. But for more details about that, you will simply visit www.iss.gsu.edu to see the different questions that may go along with the financial resources and also questions for international students. Now, application deadline. Our application deadline coming up for this fall semester, which begins in August. February 1st is for our international student, and the May 1st for our domestic student. If you're wondering what is entailed within these deadlines or the application deadline, that simply means the application itself. So we give students additional 30 to 45 days to get supporting documentation such as transcripts, test scores, recommendation letters, things of that nature into us. But again, remember, once we have everything as far as everything that was detailed within the application process, it takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks to have that information reviewed and a decision to be rendered to you. Now, tuition and fees for the Master of Global Hospitality Management. Currently, tuition is $38,000. Some additional fees that you have to take into account is the application fee of $50, a non-refundable fee of $250, which is what we call a confirmation deposit, which solidifies your seat within your program of choice. Now, if you're wondering what's the $38,000 entailed or what's inclusive within that, you get iPad, textbooks, professional resume review, development skills, meals, drinks, snacks, graduation fees, and also parking. Now, everything is inclusive within the tuition fees, so we want you to more so focus on the content itself. We take away the hassle of trying to schedule courses, trying to find places to park, things of that nature. So if you are thinking as well for health insurance, there are some additional fees that you have to take into account. Now, financing your degree. If you're currently working for a corporation or organization that does tuition reimbursement, I would say definitely taking this information that you received today back to your HR representative and see if you're eligible for any type of tuition reimbursement. Also, here within Robinson, especially within the Global Hospitality Management Program, we do offer different types of scholarships. Here are just some of the samples of or examples of different scholarships that we do offer. But we also have included a link where you can see the different scholarships and also grants that we offer here within Robinson College of Business and also Georgia State as a whole. Now, keep in mind there are different requirements and also different test scores that you have to take into account. So please research the different scholarships that are out there. We also offer graduate research assistantships, what we call GRA positions. Now, for our GRA positions, there are a few different requirements, but just simply the GRA positions can offer you sometimes full or half tuition waivers and also stipends. Now, for our GRA positions, let's more so focus on the merit GRA. We look for students to have a 620 or higher or a 310 or higher on the GRE. Just simply as far as applying to the merit-based GRA positions. But we also have a GRA positions where you can simply apply to at any point in time through the university as a whole. But keep in mind, the GRA position is a highly competitive market, and it will be beneficial to get that information as soon as possible. Then there's also educational loans. If you're an undergraduate student and if you fill out the FAFSA, the same process will apply for the graduate program. Simply going to the website itself, entering the information that you see that you have done as far as previous, will simply apply you for the educational loans as far as in that manner. There's also a Grad Plus loan that does a soft inquiry into your credit history. If you are eligible to receive that, you'll actually be contacted by one of our financial aid representatives to see if you're eligible for that or have received that Grad Plus loan. And then last, we have private loans. If you are interested in doing private loans, simply or keep in mind to ask whoever the entity is that you're going through the private loan to do a what we call an educational loan. With the educational loan, it has a lower interest rate than different loans that are out there. Now we're going to turn this. I'm going to turn this over back to Nicole, and thank you again for attending the webinar over the